I believe that two people are connected at the heart, and it doesn't matter what you do, or who you are or where you live. There are no boundaries or barriers if two people are destined to be together. True love doesn't come to you, it has to be inside you. You know it's love when all you want is that person to be happy, even if you're not part of their happiness. If you love someone, you say it, right then, out loud. Otherwise, the moment just passes you by. Republican comes in the dictionary just after reptile and just above repugnant. Love is not love without a violin playing goat. Happiness isn't happiness unless there's a violin playing goat. A fever is an expression of inner rage. I'm just an ordinary person who has an extraordinary job. The older you get, the more fragile you understand life to be. I think that's good motivation for getting out of bed joyfully each day. It's funny when people say, "I don't think Julia likes me." Honey, if I don't like you, you're going to know about it. When I was a child, I had a crush on Abraham Lincoln. Why I would choose to reveal this, I know not. My life at home gives me absolute joy. There are some days when, as soon as you've finished cooking breakfast and cleaning up the kitchen, it's time to start lunch, and by the time you've done that, you're doing dinner and thinking, there has to be a menu we can order from. I did get to keep the wedding dresses from Runaway Bride. They're all boxed up in my garage. I've never opened them. It'll be fun one day when Hazel is taller. She can play dress up with her friends. Show me a mall, and I'm happy. I just have a great life. I know great people. I've had great relationships, all different kinds of relationships. I love to cook, and I love to have all my family around the dinner table. People love scandal, people love drama. They love stripping away the layers to see what's really in there, and they'll do anything, as well as make it up, to get it. I just have a great life. I know great people. I've had great relationships, all different kinds of relationships. I am so lucky to be on the little golden path that led me to all this. Light and funny has a more compelling quality when you're younger. But I haven't abandoned the genre. I love Falling Down. I love Lucille Ball. It's just that a lot of those stories revolve around problems that I can't convincingly portray at this age. Snow White is an old fairy tale, so obviously the idea of vanity and obsession with youth is long-standing. With today's science, people have become crazy with trying to move their face around. It's bizarre. I've never had to pretend to be having sex with somebody. I'm like the queen of the foreplay dissolve. Whenever you are faced with someone who has made far more errors in judgment and far more mistakes than you have a tendency to get on your high horse. When all this fame first comes, it's like being hit by a giant wave. You panic and think if you can just calm down and see where it's going, you'll be okay. Then you become more relaxed. I wouldn't do nudity in films. For me, personally, to act with my clothes on is a performance. To act with my clothes off is a documentary. Sally Field taught me to do needlepoint on steel magnolias, and a standby painter on Pelican Brief taught me to knit. I'm pretty good at it now. I tried Botox one time and was permanently surprised for a couple of months. It was not a for me. My feeling is, I have 3 children who should know what emotion I'm feeling at the exact moment I'm feeling it, that is critical. Your face tells a story, and it shouldn't be a story about your drive to the doctor's office. I don't get angry very often. I lose my temper rarely. And when I do, there's always a legitimate cause. Normally, I have a great lightness of being. I take things in a very happy, amused way. I'm definitely a practicing Hindu. I'm better for all the things that have happened to me, the good and the bad. I could have been a dental hygienist with nothing bad ever appearing in print about me, but that's not how I've chosen to lead my life. I knew that you put yourself under a microscope the more famous you become. It's unfortunate that we live in such a panicked, dysmorphic society where women don't even give themselves a chance to see what they'll look like as older persons. I want to have some idea of what I'll look like before I start cleaning the slates. Something that's such a joy in my life every day, cooking, is this incredible, horrific danger to women around the world. Everything I've done has had purpose and has been passionate and has been executed in the best way that I knew how. Maybe that's not the perfect way. Maybe that's not the easiest way. But it's the best way I knew how to do it. Patchouli has always been a part of my fragrance, like a line through my life. A person with an extraordinary job. My real hair color is kind of a dark blonde. Now I just have mood hair. The kind of energy I attract is very calm. I like a good old-fashioned fist fight if people are pissed off at each other. I just feel like if you're really mad and want to have a fight, then put your dukes up. I don't spend a lot of time in the mirror. I don't have the luxury of sitting around anymore. I must have had bags of spare time before I had children, but I don't know what I did with it and I didn't appreciate it. But it's such a terrific trade-off. I don't have time to get a pedicure, but I sure am happy. Who cares if your feet look bad? They say movies, and that's nice in that it puts into people's minds that women can do it. It's not just Kevin Costner, not just Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not just the guys. Going to the theater is such a joyous experience. My dad would take my sister and me to plays when we were very young, like 6 or 7 years old. My mom used to make everything. She had a great garden and composted and made everything from scratch: peanut butter, bread, jelly, everything. I don't know how she did it because all those things take time and love and labor. I only do half the stuff she does, but there's still time. I don't wake up with some sense of fabulosity. I was lucky that I made a few movies in a row that people really responded to, not me, particularly, but the films as a whole were appreciated. You can be true to the character all you want, but you've got to go home with yourself. When you've got 4 people to get dressed to get out the door, you don't really tend to spend a lot of time on yourself. But that's the way I roll anyway. I was never one to do my hair and makeup just to go down to the market, so it's really not that much different. If I get a little eye cream on, I feel like I'm ahead of myself. I choose totally by instinct. And the only time I've ever gone against my instincts, I've regretted it. Seeing Shakespeare in the park, for me, it's just this side of feeling like you've witnessed some kind of magic. It's this spell that you're under, to be part of that. What changes fame is the perceptions of the individual rather than the individual. I have very smart parents. I feel I learned a lot from both of my parents and life experience.